If you're trying to grow your business or you run a business right now, you need to understand how to steward attention well. And when I say steward attention well, I mean that you need to understand how to take the attention that your customers give you at any turn and use it for good for you and for them. And when you focus long term on your business, this is probably the number one skill that you can have to actually grow it. Because unfortunately, a lot of businesses right now, they see some success and they don't focus long term enough, and they focus just short term on just generating a little bit of cash right now, that it damages the long term growth of their business. And I don't want you to fall into that trap, because all of these guys, they see a little bit of success, and that success doesn't grow anymore once they hit a certain point. So then they try a bunch of different stuff, and that's usually short term stuff that hurts them in the long term. And you've probably seen this before, but it's, for example, like when somebody joins an email list, like when you join somebody's email list, right? And you get on the email list expecting some value, and they might give you some value when you first join, but 2 weeks later, you're getting 3 emails from them every single day with spam links, affiliate links, and things that you don't care about, just shoving products down your throat. They haven't built a relationship with you. You don't know them. You don't like them. You don't trust them yet, right? And they're trying to sell you something immediately. And that's not being a good steward of attention. It's the exact same thing when you go to click on an ad, right? And you click on the ad hoping for a great deal, and then it pops you to something else. Okay, it's basically it's the equivalent of slapping your customers in the face. You know, when you watch a movie and you're watching it and it's all great, and then at the end it says, "Oh, but everything was actually a dream," and it's a huge slap in the face moment. That's like what it is when you're opting in for something that you think will give you value, and your customers opt in for something that they think will give value, and they don't get that, right? It just leaves them hanging, and it's one of the worst feelings in the world. And when you do that, they don't come back. Your lifetime value decreases. The amount of value that your business is worth decreases because your list isn't worth anything. And you have no certainty of future cash flow. So what I mean by that is there's really three things that businesses look at, or people look at, when they want to invest in the business or buy the business at all. And one of them is cash on hand. One of them is current cash flows. And then the third one is certainty of future cash flow. Now, certainty of future cash flow is heavily discounted because it hasn't come in yet, because it's in the future, but it's still something that people look at. Now, certainty of future cash flow is not, hey, can you get more money in your business? Can you get more customers? That's not what it is. Anybody can do that. It's very easy. Certainty of future cash flow is how certain is that future cash flow to come in if you were not in the business. If you were not there for 6 months, would there be money coming in? That's certainty of future cash flow. And without that, your business is not worth anything. And the best way to get that, the only way to get that, truthfully, predictably, and consistently, is lifetime value. And so that's why it's so important to have a long-term mindset when you're growing a business. And when you're investing in things to grow your business and putting out marketing material and putting out things to make more money in your business, you have to keep that long-term mentality. Because if you don't, and you slip up at any point, you could be putting something out there that is harming the long-term success of your business and certainty of that future cash flow just for a short-term uptick right now. And that's unhealthy scale. So anything that affects that long-term cash flow, that certainty, is unhealthy scale, and you shouldn't be engaging in it. And it's a harm to your business, and it'll be a net loss over the long term. And so the best way to do all of this is to become what I call a good steward of attention. So there's a few examples of people that are good stewards of attention, and I want to show you what they are and what they do and who they are. Okay, so let's see here. So the first one is, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but he is a very, very good business person, and his name is Logan Paul. Now, Logan Paul, if you don't know him, he started on YouTube, I think his brother, Jake, started on Disney. And then Jake moved into boxing, and Logan moved his YouTube stardom and to like WWE, and just increasing his online presence as an influencer and an online celebrity. And so Logan Paul was a very good steward of attention, because he didn't get 1 million followers and then get a bunch of sponsorships and spam them down people's throat and stop making good content. Logan Paul was a good steward of attention because he continued to make good content. He continued to give people value for free. He continued to put things out there. Now, at the same time, I'm sure he was getting sponsorship money just from product placement and from YouTube and all of that. I'm sure he was doing very well for himself. I'm not saying he's some benevolent saint, but he waited to put product in front of people until very recently. And so, very recently, he put out a product called Prime Energy Drink. And or I'm sorry, it's just Prime Drink. It's not an energy drink. I think it's like a Gatorade equivalent. It's very, very sweet. If you've ever had it, it's very, very sweet. But Logan waited, and he waited to understand his audience. He waited to understand his market. And once he got down and he understood who his prime audience was, no pun intended there, he put out a product that was good for them, that they would want. Now, if Logan Paul put out something, and the majority of his audience is a younger group of people. I don't want to say kids, but it's teenagers and younger than that. I don't know many people that are my age or younger that are like between 20 years old and my age that like Logan Paul, and like continually watch his stuff and subscribe to him. But Prime is perfect for his audience because I mean he understood that his audience was younger, and he didn't put out something that only older people, like he didn't put out coffee for kids, like his audience is kids. He didn't put out coffee for them. He continued to give them good content, and then he was like, hey, you want to enhance your lifestyle or however he promoted it. I don't know how he did it, but you want to enhance whatever it is that, we have bonded over so far, then drink Prime. And he was a fantastic steward of attention because he knew how to steward that attention well and move the attention and the eyeballs that he got into something people would like and actually want. Because at the end of the day, people want to buy stuff. They want products. They want to spend money. They want to give you their dollars. And when you give them something that they actually want, they'll be happy to give it to you as long as you've been a good steward of attention along the way. So when you deliver something that they want that enhances their experience and makes it better, they're going to continue to give you money. But if at any point in the entire process with you, you leave them hanging, right, and you just you promise them the world and you don't deliver on that, and you don't give them more value than they are expecting from you, or you put products in front of them that they don't care about or they feel are spammy or are very low quality and don't even apply to anything that they, align with at all, and their end goals, then that's a bad stewardship of attention. And they're going to unsubscribe, they're going to stop following you, they're going to move away from your ecosystem. They're not going to be a part of what you're offering anymore. And you lose out on all that future value that you could have gotten had you offered them something that they wanted. Okay? So another option for this, or another example, I should say, is another YouTube personality called Lo-Fi Girl. Now, this started as a channel called Chilled Cow, but it moved into Lo-Fi Girl to essentially do the branding thing. Okay, now Lo-Fi Girl, all that it is, it's a French gentleman. I don't know his name, Mateo, I want to say, Matthew maybe, something like that. And he started this channel called Chilled Cow, and Chilled Cow is literally just a 24/7, always live beats on YouTube. And so it's just like lo-fi beats, which are like beats that you can study to. It's called lo-fi beats to study and relax to. And they're just relaxing, chill beats that you can have on in the background while you're doing work, and they make work better and easier, and you get in kind of a flow state. It's great. It's an awesome experience. And I do it all the time. It's one of my favorite channels. And Lo-Fi Girl moved from Chilled Cow to Lo-Fi Girl, and because when you're watching like the YouTube video, you have to have a video, and it's a GIF on repeat of this. It's an illustrated girl, and there's like a cozy background and just coziness all over the place. There's a cat, a cute little cat that's cozy on the desk, and then she's wearing a sweater that looks cozy, and then in the background is France, and it looks cozy. Sometimes it snows and it rains. It's a cozy atmosphere. And that's the point here, because people don't, watch Lo-Fi Girl if they're in the car, trying to pump themselves up for the gym. They have Lo-Fi Girl on in the background because they're trying to relax. They're trying to study. They want stuff that they can just calm and chill out to. And so what Lo-Fi Girl did was they took that attention that they were getting, I think they have like 20 million subscribers. They took that attention that they're getting and they moved it into something good. And they became good stewards of attention by offering scarves, like the girl was wearing, plushes of the cat and the girl, and then mugs, stickers, keyboard covers, basically anything that I would categorize as cozy merch. And so they didn't come out of the docks and say, hey, this is Lo-Fi Girl. Do you want we're selling Remington rifles, Remington hunting rifles. I know it sounds crazy, but that's kind of the equivalent that a lot of people do. Like they're like, oh, okay, well, we got a ton of people on the list, and Jim is selling XYZ product. Jim told me he'd give me $15 every time I got him a purchase. I'm going to spam his link and his affiliate link to get a bunch of money because I have a ton of people on my list and on my following. I'm going to spam that. I'm going to make a ton of money right now. And then that's when you get the unsubscribes. That's when you get people leaving your ecosystem. That's when you get people not really enjoying their experience with you. But Lo-Fi Girl didn't do that. They did the opposite. They did what Logan Paul did. They understand their audience, and they give them something that the audience would like. Kids like a super sweet drink. I don't know why I didn't think about that earlier. But kids love sugar, and it's the sugariest thing I've ever tasted. There's no sugar in it, but it's the sweetest thing I've ever tasted. It's a perfect thing to offer the audience. Lo-Fi Girl knew their audience. People weren't using it to hype themselves up. They weren't using it to get out there and go to the gym. They're not listening to that at the gym. They're using it when they want to relax, when they want to chill. They're people interested in calm. So they give them scarves, plushes, mugs, and cozy merch, stuff that you can just use when you're chilling. That's what Lo-Fi Girl is, and that's how they stewarded that attention well and delivered something that their audience wanted. They didn't get unsubscribed. They didn't get people calling them out for selling out or anything like that, like people usually do with sponsorships that don't relate to their product at all. That's the people liked this stuff. They wanted to give them money, and that's why she's successful, or he is successful. And then the stickers and keyboard covers come through because it literally says in the title, like, Lo-Fi beats to study and relax to. A lot of people nowadays, they study on like Quizlet and online platforms. Stickers on the back of a keyboard, on a water bottle are perfect examples. I use both of those things when I'm studying or doing work. I guess it would work more for like an actual like metal water bottle. That wasn't a good example, but and then keyboard covers, like, okay, I'm working right now. I listen to it right now. I love a keyboard cover. Lo-Fi Girl, that company understood it as well. Okay, so the third option here, or the third person that did this in a very good way, is Lewis Hamilton. Now, Lewis did this in a kind of a different way. Now, Lewis Hamilton is a Formula One race car driver. And Lewis Hamilton went down the route that a lot of celebrities do, but he did it a little bit differently. So a lot of celebrities, they put out merchandise for their products, like Lo-Fi Girl does and all of that. But Lewis Hamilton is a little bit different because he is big on helping African American youth and helping marginalized people in certain communities basically not be marginalized and be better, and live a better life. And so what Lewis did is, instead of just offering merch like everybody else does, and he started a foundation called Plus 44. And what Plus 44 is it helps those people that he advocates for, and it's kind of his way of walking what he talks, okay? Great. Whatever you think about it, whatever. The point of it is, he is a perfect steward of attention because instead of just putting out merchandise that, anybody could do, he says, hey, I know that I have a huge worldwide following, and I know that people follow me not just because I'm a race car driver, but because I'm an African American man in a very non-African American sport. I know that I'm somebody that is regarded as a social activist, a catalyst for change. I know that I'm somebody that people invite to specific events because of my social justice initiatives. So I'm going to channel that and increase both my brand image, but the name I'm making for myself, and I'll capitalize on my brand along the way. Capitalized on that and said, we're going to do merch, but we're going to give a percentage of sales to Plus 44. And then all of the merchandise goes through his store, which is called Plus 44 World. And on every single sales page, on every product page, on the homepage, everywhere, it says a percentage of sales is donated to the Plus 44 Foundation. And so not only is he being a good steward of attention, not only does it look like he's not selling out, right, in a bad way, it doesn't turn the audience off, but the product is good, the quality of the things that he puts out is good in his merchandise, and he's also lacing in kind of that understanding of his audience, understanding that it's not just people interested in Formula One only, but it's also people who are interested in his social justice initiatives, so it captures the attention of everybody and delivers to everybody. And it's a very unique way to channel that attention. And that is being a good steward of attention. Okay? Now, I have one more for you, and it might be somebody that you have heard of, but this one was probably the most prominent. Okay? So, Mr. Beast is another YouTuber. Now, I know 3 of these people are YouTubers. I'm not a huge YouTube guy. These are just people who have been in the news recently and were pretty good examples. So, Mr. Beast is a YouTuber, and he makes videos that you've probably seen before. That they kind of get crazy sometimes. So he does big challenges, and he does like giveaways of a ton of money. He just changes people's lives. It's really cool. And so that it captures the attention of kids, and both kids and adults. All right. Once he started getting that attention from all of his videos, he started moving into like heavier challenges. So now a lot of the money that he gives away is to like his friends and stuff. If you can keep your hand on this salt lamp for like, I don't know, 48 hours straight, I'll give you $2 million is what he always promises. And it's just crazy stuff like that. And so the people interested in this stuff that regularly subscribe to it, in general, my brother is older, like he's like 18, 19, but he likes this stuff. It's not kids. It's not as young as Logan Paul's audience, but it's still people who are younger. Mr. Beast didn't come out and be like, "Oh, hey, if you need Xerox machines, I'm now selling Xerox machines. I'm selling fax machines. I'm selling rotary phones." Now, obviously those are extreme examples, but he didn't do that. He was like, "Hey, okay, most of my audience are people who are teenagers and younger, so we're going to come out with Feastables. And they are candy bars that are basically the exact same thing as Hershey's and Reese's and all that. And the Feastables candy bars are dominating everywhere. Like, to the point where the people like them, and the audience likes this stuff so much that they'll go to Walmart when they come out with a new pack of them, buy theirs, and then adjust the Feastables, like the palette thing on the shelf. Like, they like the stuff that much, and they like this guy so much, and they appreciate his content so much, they're literally helping him out in the stores by making sure his product is front and center and all cleaned up and looks nice. Because stuff gets knocked around all the time. They just pick it up and put it back in the thing for them. Who does that? People who have a great relationship with the person that got their attention first off. That's who does that, right? And that's why, if you're a good steward of attention and you deliver to your audience exactly what they want, something that actually makes sense to them, you're going to reap the rewards, not just in a monetary sense, not just in a cash flow and revenue sense, but you're also going to reap that reward of making a name for yourself and making a difference as far as the brand goes, right? And your brand elevates, but so does the cash flow. And so does your relationship with your community, because you're putting out stuff that they want, stuff that they care about. You're not selling out. You're not being a sponsor, right? It's something that people want, they like, and they love, and they like you, and they like the stuff you're putting out, and they continue to buy it because of the community that you've built, because you're a good steward of attention and you haven't taken advantage of them. And so that's why being a good steward of attention is so vital and is so important. And if you don't have that, and you just focus on that short term, you're not going to get the benefits that you're going to get when you put out stuff that people want. And you actually deliver to your customers and the people that give you attention, A, good things, B, good value, and C, stuff that they'll actually care about and give you money for. If you do that, you'll never have to worry about money ever again. All you got to do is get the attention, and then you can provide them something that they want. And that's it. It's as simple as that. So hope that helped. Hope that gave you some clarity. But that's that long-term mentality that we've been talking about. And it's really done wonders for me and everybody in my private client group. And I thought you could get some good use out of it too.